Issue number 2. Should slaves count toward a state's population? Once the issue of state representation was settled, the delegates at the convention turned their attention to other matters. Should slaves count toward a state's population? That was the issue to be discussed next. Many at the convention, wished to do away with slavery altogether, since it went against the idea of liberty and independence. However, Southern states refused to compromise on the issue, and Northern states did not want to risk the fragile state the nation was in. The founders agreed to push decisions regarding the fate of slavery aside for now. The Southern slaveholding states wanted to count their slaves toward their population numbers. Since they were people, Southerners demanded they be counted as such when looking at the entire state's population. And counting slaves as people would mean that Southern states would gain more representatives in the House of Representatives. This would give the South an overwhelming amount of power, since they held far more slaves than any Northern state. Northerners balked at this idea and favored a plan that prevented slaves from being counted at all. The Southern states, Northerners demanded, cannot have it both ways. They cannot treat slaves as property, yet count them as people. If the South can count things they consider property, does that mean the North can count property too? Many Northerners, knowing that the South would never accept such a deal, agreed to happily count the slaves if the South set them free. Of course, that idea went nowhere. This is not to suggest that Northerners were entirely anti-slavery. Many in the North also owned slaves, just not to the extent that Southerners did. The reluctance to count slaves was mainly to prevent the South from gaining too much political power in the House of Representatives. Naturally, a compromise was drafted to divert the crisis. Drafted by James Wilson and Roger Sherman, again, the 3/5 compromise counted slaves as 3/5 of one person when determining a state's representation in the House. In other words, for every 5 slaves, 3 would count toward a state's population. This gave the slave-holding South more power in the new government. However, it also allowed the nation to move forward. Northerners did receive a small win in the deal, though. Both sides agreed to end the international slave trade in 1807. This meant that in 20 years, the nation could no longer import slaves from Africa.